I remember when I lost my mind. There was something so pleasant about that place. Even your emotions had an echo in so much space. And when you're out there without care, yeah, I was out of touch. But it wasn't because I didn't know enough. I just knew too much. Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy? Possibly. I think you're crazy.
It's definitely to focus more on coaching. I think that competition, obviously not everyone enjoys competing, and I think competing in jiu-jitsu is almost like a subdivision of jiu-jitsu. I think not everyone who's even competing necessarily enjoys jiu-jitsu. Maybe they just enjoy competing, and jiu-jitsu is the vehicle they use to drive their ambition to compete and their competitive drive. And now, obviously, in the beginning, we were training out of a garage. I didn't have a gym at the time, and that was all we focused on, was competing. And then it was obviously a while, I think, before we actually opened the gym. And then when we did open the gym, we had a very small student base, and a lot of them who didn't want to compete. So we just were like, cool, we're just going to always compete. And as the gym grew, we had more students, obviously, and then more people who wanted to compete. And not even because they enjoyed competition or had that competitive drive, that jiu-jitsu was the vehicle for them to drive. And I just wanted to jump in with some hits. And when you get to a point then when you've got students in your division and all the divisions and that, I personally felt that I would rather coach on the day and focus on that than compete. Especially with us planning to compete overseas a bit more and that sort of stuff. I felt that you sometimes have to take some stuff on the chin, and that's what it's about. And I was very, very happy and to be honest, grateful to even be in the position where you have to make that choice. And it was an easy choice and not even something I thought about. I think it was definitely to focus on coaching and being the best coach for my students, on the day. And I think that's how sort of juggling the role between coach and the desire to compete has happened so naturally and organically because we have such a powerful team here. Not just like the people who compete or come here to compete. It's just everyone working towards a goal of getting better at jiu-jitsu and seeing competition as just one way to do that. And it's never, when I've got a competition coming up, I know that I can lean on those around me. And when they have competitions coming up, they can lean on me. And it's created a very wholesome and organic team vibe at the gym, which has made making that or balancing those two things like super like easy and almost effortless. It's not even something I've thought about, you just lean on your teammates and they've got your back, and then they lean on you and you have theirs, and it's made it quite a seamless transition, to be honest, and one that I honestly think has made me an even better competitor, because you learn so much from being in those positions when you maybe have someone who is showing you something. They feel like, hey, I saw this in your match. Well, why didn't you try this? And you're like, oh, I never thought about that. And that's from someone who doesn't even compete regularly. They just love jiu-jitsu so much and they can see it through a different lens. And I think that's an example of how I can help them. Yeah, I'm just very grateful to have such a wonderful team around me that really has made that so easy.
Cool.
I think you kind of mature a bit as time goes on and you do more competitions. I've always thought that's probably the biggest difference between competing and training here versus overseas is not necessarily the level of instruction or even necessarily the level in the room itself. I think it's just the amount of competitions you can do overseas. I mean, Ali just got back from, I think, 2 months in Europe, and you're saying there's an IBJJF comp almost every month there. And I think that's the biggest difference. And the more you compete over time, I want to say maybe the less intimidating it becomes. You always feel nervous. Always feel nervous. And you always battle those demons of self-doubt. And I know for me personally, just never feeling like you even want to win or good enough to compete. So I don't think that's changed. But my mindset around competition has changed since going overseas and doing relatively well at the level. You just feel a little bit more reassured, I'd say. No, it being the title match hasn't impacted how I've prepared. It's not like I'm doing extra sessions now because it's a title match or anything like that. I think every match you do is you sort of representing yourself, and so you always want to put your best foot forward and be the best version of yourself, whether that's a title match or not. So from a training perspective, it definitely hasn't changed anything. Yeah, mentally, obviously, it would be flipping lacquer to win one. I don't know, no one ever says that. They play all coy and suave. It doesn't matter. It would be so cool. It really would be. And that is obviously something you think about. Even if you don't believe it, you kind of think about it. And yeah, it would be really cool to win the title. And it's something I obviously want. But it hasn't changed how I prepared. I'm definitely not training any harder for the match because it is the final match. I think just learned that I was on that level. I think personally always struggle with a lot of self-doubt and not believing that I'm good enough. And then that's also kind of why you train so hard, because the only thing that makes you maybe feel better is if you're fit and you're working hard. So it's a nice, that comes full circle, because the less you believe in yourself, the more you train, and then you kind of just always training hard. But I think that competition really just proved to me that I was on a level, and it gave me a lot of confidence going overseas and doing the IBJJF Rome Open comp in the gi. And And I think that's the biggest thing I probably took from that, was just that, like, you're good enough to not only hang at that level, but kind of go toe to toe. No one had really gone, all guns blazing, caution to the wind with Davi before, and understandably so. And I really didn't want to, but just in the moment, just had to hoy, I guess, and it did a lot for me from that side of things. It was like, oh shit, like, you're not terrible.
Don't see tomorrow. I try to make nice with you, 'cause all you ever do is try to fuck up my day. And you are successful, but I know the truth. No, you don't have anything better to do. Everything you ever loved is trying to escape you. So why would I want anything to do with you? Fuck you.
It's been good. I competed twice, I have great results, and I'm very excited for the next competitions. It's hard to say, because always when I teach, for me it's also training, because I can practice the techniques, I can sometimes I also roll with my students, and then for me you don't have to train hard every time. Sometimes just practice the technique, do some drills is a good training for me. My goal for Jiu-Jitsu, I want to be the best teacher, and competitions for me makes me improve as a person, also as a teacher, because I have to train more, I have to be better, and then yeah, that's it. I want to be the best teacher. Dylan's a great fighter. He's also a good teacher, and I'm very excited for this fight. We had a hard match last time. He's very technical, and I like challenge myself, and I think it's a good opportunity for me to improve as a fighter, as a person, and he's the right guy.
Yeah, I don't think, even before that match, you don't take a match thinking you can't win at all, even if it's a 1% chance. So I always felt that I maybe had the tools in the kit to beat Davi the first time, even if I didn't believe in how I used those tools. But it was something you definitely think like you can maybe sneak a win or something. And I think going into this one again, you think, well, I do have a chance. Otherwise, you wouldn't take the match. And yeah, I think I do think I have the tools, even if I don't believe in the sharpness of them. Yeah. Horrendously heartbreaking there. If I'm like being honest, it was terrible. I think anytime you lose a match, it's heartbreaking, especially because sometimes, or most of the time, if not all the time, you win, and it's kind of like, well, it's what you train for. There's very little upside to that win for some people, and I say like I'm probably in that group, and you know, like, well, the postman doesn't necessarily celebrate when he delivers the post, so it's like, okay, and then you lose, and then not only do you lose, but you lose in that fashion. It's horrendously heartbreaking when, I hate overtime, mate. So I'd probably enjoy it if I wasn't 0 for 3, but I'm not counting it all anyway. But even being reminded about the question, I don't know. I don't know. I think the difference would just be that we've rolled each other, and we maybe not as unsure about one another's games going into it, having actually rolled with one another in a competition. I'd love to sit here and say this is going to be so different because and give you some brave answer full of copium and hopium that hopefully I would even believe, but I don't. I don't know. And I think that's actually one of the nice things about this matchup, and something I said before the tournament even was how I think it's just two guys who really enjoy trying to get submissions. Ironic because we went to overtime, but still, I think that will be the saying. And I don't know. I don't know if there'll be anything. I don't know. I just going for it. I think like I've said before, I think jiu-jitsu can be such a beautiful thing to watch if you have the right matchup and stylistically, and even in the gi. I think that was something that stood out maybe between Davi and I the first time, is it was like a hella close and enthralling gi match, which I know I was on the edge of my seat, and and I think that's what you can expect again. And I'm sure Davi would say the same thing. Is just going for it, not holding back, and no, just going millies, I guess.
Self-assured, no, no,
I tried to attack his feet many times last time, and it was hard to catch him. And then I tried to improve my leg attacks and also try to create a plan B, plan C. He's, like I said before, he's the tough guy. It's hard to sub him, but I always fight for submissions. That's my goal. Not really specific for him, but to improve my game. He knows my game, the people know my game, but you always can improve your game. And I think it's important you train for that. Doesn't matter who is the opponent, I can improve always. I'm very motivated. I already had 3 titles, under 66, under 70, and combat jiu-jitsu, and I always want more. And now in Gi is very traditional in Brazil, then this is important for me. You can expect a lot of action. Like I said, I like to fight for submissions. I don't like to hold the fight. I like to be very aggressive, attacking all the time, and I know my opponents also have the same style. And then I'm very excited for that.
Any last message?
Please watch, guys. I'm sure it'll be a great show for you to watch.
Yeah.